That Santa Claus? See reasons I would be changing the name of the person that shared the story, but thank you for sharing. This year we went to my aunt's house to celebrate Christmas. However, this year wasn't that very festive. My grandfather was sick and he wasn't really speaking to anybody. We're all there, we're all sleeping in separate bedrooms. This one particular night, I get up to use the bathroom. Now, the bathroom's on the other side of the house where my grandparents' bedroom is located. I go to the bathroom and I realized while I left the door open that I could see into my grandparents' room because the door was cracked. Now, I'm sitting on the toilet and I can see into my grandfather's room. Now, I can't see him directly, but I can see the end of his bed. And at the end of his short, fat figure staring at him. And I'm sitting on the toilet, nervous and thinking maybe my imagination's playing tricks on me. I let out a fart. Of course, I try to get up slowly off the toilet because whatever that thing is, just realized that I could see it and it could see me. And it tilted his head at me and started walking towards me. Bolted out that bathroom so fast. And I can swear to you, I thought I heard Christmas bells running behind me. Like, I thought it was Christmas bells, which is crazy to say, but it was Christmas bells I was hearing. So once I made it to my room, I locked the door, I got under the covers, and I tossed and turned throughout the night, but I did my best to go to sleep. It was Christmas, and of course, I forgot all about it. And my grandfather was sitting in the living room, my younger cousins watching Christmas movies, and I went with my older cousins to the kitchen to help out. And as I'm helping out in the kitchen, I noticed that my grandfather starts staring at the chimney. So I walk over to my grandfather and ask him, "Grandfather, what are you staring at?" And of course, he whispered, "The fat man is coming." And I'm just like, okay, I really try not to question him too much because he really isn't talking. So for him to respond to me, I was kind of confused. And then I turn around and watch the TV and I see a reflection that I don't recognize in the TV. And I, of course, brush it off. A couple hours later, I take my grandfather to his bed to go to sleep. And I see in the closet, like claws. It looks like claws coming out of the closet, as if someone's standing there and their claws can still be seen. And I kind of try to dismiss it and walk away thinking maybe it's my imagination acting crazy and maybe I'm tired. So I just ran to my room and I fell asleep. And a few hours later throughout the night, I woke up to use the bathroom. And as I walked down the hallway to go to the bathroom, and of course my grandparents' room is across the hall, I'm walking down the hallway, I can see my baby cousin Willie standing in the doorway of my grandparents' room. Now, mind you, my cousin's 6 years old. He should have been asleep 5 hours ago. And he's just standing there. And I say, "Hello?" Confused, of course, that Willie's up. Willie turns to me and says, "Is that Santa Claus?" It was. I looked into the room and there was the short, fat figure with the long hands and the pointy, sharp nails that looked like claws staring at my grandfather with these red, glowing eyes. And of course, it heard Willie and it turned to us with a smirk on its face. And I didn't think about it twice. I grabbed Willie and I ran to my room. I didn't care. I ran to my room with Willie and Willie slept the whole night with me. And of course, what it was. I couldn't brush it off any longer. It was not my imagination. That was not Santa Claus. Poor Willie looked like he saw a ghost. I was petrified. And the next morning, of course, when we woke up after that horrible night, we woke up to sirens. My grandfather had passed away, and everyone in the household was crying except my aunt. In front of my aunt later that afternoon, and I asked her was she sad, and she didn't really say anything to me while she was staring at the window. She just said to me, "Do you know how he died?" And of course I said no, and she said to me that she saw scratches all over his body, that the paramedics nor the cops acknowledged the scratches. And then I said to her, "How did you see the scratches on his body?" And she didn't answer. Then she said the most creepiest thing I've ever heard. I don't know, but I guess he learned his lesson on asking spirits for gifts. At the closet, and when I looked at the closet, the door was slightly open and I can see the red glowing eyes staring back at me, and I just decided to walk out that room. I wasn't going to stay there, but all I do know is that she knows how he died and it was his fault. What do you think about this story? What do you think that was? And wow.